Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to Savannah by Night here on the Midnight Dispatch. And I'm very pleased to say that it is not the only thing we do here. Dreamy, would you like to make an announcement?
Yeah, join us on Thursday, December 4th at 7 p.m. Central right here. With our friends Iskra, Smoggles behind the scenes being the best tech producer ever, Hannah from Bards of New York, Vix, Shanks, and Petulant Cobra from Top Down Tabletop, and Pip from Marquee Gaming as I run a familiar Christmas using the familiar problem system. Come see what happens when some familiars accidentally kill Santa and have to deliver presents. It's gonna be so much fun. I'm so excited.
Would that make it the Santa pause?
Yes, but that is also a copyrighted movie title.
Which I've never seen, so it doesn't matter.
Oh, I've seen all of them and they're horrific.
Probably.
It's part of the Air Bud franchise.
That tracks.
Yep. But you also might recognize a lot of the NPCs that show up.
Hmm. But what else are you doing, Dreamy?
On Tuesdays, not this coming Tuesday, thanks to American Thanksgiving. Um, Join me at Top Down Tabletop on Tuesdays at 7:30 Central for Embers and Arcanum, a D&D game. We are on a magical high-speed train. Iskra, this one's for you. We know you love public transportation. It's real bougie, and we're headed to the capital of the enemy country where we're gonna do spy shit.
Hmm. Sam, where can we find you on Fridays?
You can find me at twitch.tv/smoggles11. I'll be streaming some Hades 2 and finally getting to the surface world.
I'm sure there'll be no terrible things that happen in the light of day ever.
No, especially since I've gotten the spell that allows me to survive more than 30 seconds.
It's 31 seconds.
I was gonna
Exactly.
say,
It's an
become
improvement,
1 hour,
no matter
man.
what. Yeah.
Now, for tonight, if there are no other announcements, nothing? Okay. Now, tonight, I should point out there are maybe one or two content warnings to take into consideration. Vampire can be a very dark and very gruesome game, things that I have discussed with my players ad nauseum many times. They each have tools that they can express if they are discomforted, or there are certain topics that we just don't broach in the first place. However, we can always correct things if we need to. But if you, the viewer, need to step away for a little bit or watch something else, we understand. But in the meantime, join us as we tell a fucking vampire story. Last time on Savannah by Night, Poppy met with Edward Hezekiah, a venture that is seemingly responsible for organizing an upcoming heist of some ill-defined nature. While her resume was indeed amusing, they were all but claims to him. As such, he issued a challenge for her to prove herself, to go forth and do crime, with the caveat that such an endeavor cannot and will not draw the ire of the Ventru Primogen that oversees much of the security within the county. Cora showed up at the track for her own heist audition with Lila, the ever-grinning Nosferatu. While nominally in her element of professional pedigree, the young Malkavian was reminded that the situation she would be driving in would not be some simple closed course with rules. It would be opposing traffic and the potential for an active pursuit by the law, that at any moment an oncoming car or pit maneuver could take her out completely. And while she did competently, Lila was there to help Cora up her game, as to train on hard mode ultimately makes life easier. Ellie had acquired a shiny accessory to give to Petra to smooth over a potential perceived slight, or, at the very least, continue to stay within her good graces. While they may not be a master of political intrigue, they were at least beginning to get a handle on some social skills that once eluded them. Artem had acquired a small, wild bird to begin honing his innate skill of animalism, though with middling results so far. He elected to meet Ellie at Wormslow for their self-directed task of finding and tracking one of the so-called Mudmen, though their initial step of their endeavor would rely upon how they would fare against something far more mundane but still highly dangerous. The unlikely pair made their way to the same stretch of marshes where Artem, Christiana, and Cora had initially encountered the eerily humanoid creature. This time, Artem focused on luring from out of the inky depths an imposingly upscaled alligator. While the gangrel kept its attention, Ellie had fooled all senses and approached entirely unseen. And while they managed to strike true with the high gauge syringe, they brought along for the ride as the living fossil wildly thrashed. But before we resume the gator rodeo, let us check in with our errant Ventru. It has been 2 nights since the opera, since the companionable silence at the docks with Belle at Wormslow. We'll get to the current night in just a moment, but what have you been doing in those 2 intervening evenings?
I've been working and staying topped up on blood as much as I can.
Mm. Shall we roll to see how well that's been going?
Sure.
Because nominally he would have lost 4 over the 2 days if you were waking up and blush of life. Let's see how well you've been maintaining. How would you like to go about these feeds? Is it randoms? Is it the sort of nascent herd that you have been building?
I've fed on, honestly, I don't remember how many days and games it's been. I know Rhonda was, I think, the night
last
before
one.
the opera. Yeah. And I have text Barry, so we have something set up soon. So yeah, we'll probably hit the bars. So charisma, what do we normally do? Expression?
We can do that.
Okay.
I'll have you roll twice
Okay.
for 2 separate nights. We will set this at just 6.
Okay, the first one is 3 successes.
Okay. And the second one?
No successes.
No successes. Is
Thanks
it a
to
botch or?
no, the ones canceled out my 2 successes.
Okay. First night, good hunting. The second night, you're just striking out. It was, I believe, a Thursday night is the second one, so it's a little slim pickings as it's just before the weekend. You'll probably have better luck on the Friday. However, Friday is a work night for you. So what I'll say is you were able to accrue 3.
So then waking up this next Friday morning, I would be
You'd be
down one
down.
additional.
Because you can't bank in advance.
Yeah.
So if you manage to top out and then you use 2 when you wake up today, you're still down 2.
Okay. Because it took me 4 for those 2 nights, and I fed full the first night, but only got
Mhm.
1 the second night. I should be down 1 from that night before, so I should be down 3 upon waking up this morning. Because I would have been 1 away from fully topped up Thursday
Okay.
night, and then Friday it would cost me 2 more.
All right, that works.
Am I doing the math right?
I would say you would have gotten 3 on the third. Well, I guess that would have been Wednesday. The days are starting to bleed together in these. First night, you would have gotten 3. Or actually, we'll split it over the 2 days. So you got 2 the first day, so you would have been breaking even. We'll get you 1 on the second night because you rolled decently. For the first one, anyways.
Okay. I think that's still the same. I think I'm still down
Okay.
3 waking up Friday.
Well, let's hope there's nothing that triggers your hunger tonight.
I mean, I'm still pretty well full.
We'll see. When you are working for Redgrave, you're not necessarily at any one particular venue. You are either driving around the city, sort of doing the tour, or you are being sent to various locations to check them out, to familiarize yourself. Unless there's anything else you'd like to add.
Not for those 2 nights.
Okay. So let's get into the narration then. Ever since you started working for Redgrave, you've been touring the county and its various hospitalities. Many of the hotels that you've visited on behalf of your clan's whip for the sake of inspection and familiarizing yourself have been on the middle to upper tiers. But as is so often the case, the real stories are found in the seedier underbellies of any industry. You've seen it back before in DC. Some politician or their staffer caught in a compromising situation was rarely found in some luxury suite, but rather in the scummiest, most blacklight-averse roach motel one could find. And ever since you've been on this side of the masquerade, you know that is where oh so many potential breaches are bound to happen. Tonight is one of those nights. Let's see. While you are out and about, or at home, you decide. You get a phone call from an unfamiliar number. You pick up, or
Mm-hmm.
okay. Uh, uh Miss Fulton, this is Wade Stockton. I work for Ms. Redgrave.
Go ahead.
I she told me I should reach out to you if a situation comes up, and yeah, one has.
Where?
Uh, do you know where the Motel Savannah is?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, there, here.
What can you tell me before I arrive?
Don't bring shoes you like. And he hangs up.
Do I know what side of the masquerade Wade is on?
You do not.
Okay.
You've never met him? But the fact that he knows not to give details on the phone suggests he's at least nominally some degree of in the know. You just don't know what that degree is.
I'm gonna get dressed like I did for my night with Innsbruck very
Okay.
quickly.
Some more darks, some jeans,
Mm-hmm.
probably some
Some
gloves.
boots you can bleach and wash off.
Mm. Or at the very least, you wouldn't be upset if you had to burn.
Yep.
Okay. The point where the J.O. Bacon Highway intersects with the Tom Coleman Highway is a dingy, dismal affair. The typical beaten down rot one sees just off the interstate of questionable fast food and even more suspect motels. And you pull into the parking lot of one of the worst as the dull, lifeless neon signage of Motel Savannah creates a dim, almost grimy haze for you to wade through until you are left with imitation wrought iron railings and chipped, discolored stucco of the two-story tumor of roadside Americana. A man in drab jeans, shirt, vest, and too old to pull off a clearly graying ponytail is nervously smoking a cigarette.
I'll approach him.
And his hand is shaking as he's trying to take a drag. You heard?
You, Stockton?
Yeah. He's gonna sort of timidly pull you aside. There aren't many cars, but enough to know that there's at least some people staying here. Uh, uh, I, I'm not prepared for this kind of thing, man. Um, it's a fucking mess.
What happened?
He's gonna lean in. I didn't see anything. Nobody said anything. If anybody heard anything, they're not saying it. But I didn't know there was a problem until I went to go check in on them because they're late for checkout and they're real late now.
Why don't you show me?
Yeah. And he looks like he's about to take another drag. It makes it almost up to his face, and then he just puts it down. It's still clinging between his fingers, but with every step, it seems to just be slowly burning without being flicked, as his brain is definitely elsewhere right now. Let me get to this. He leads you up a flight of groaning metal stairs and towards the furthest unit. With one last deep breath, the door is opened with a wheezing creak. The smell. That's what hits you before you even cross the threshold. But it's not just the smell of blood. There's something rancidly intestinal interweaving through the heady aroma of gore. You've once heard that a crime scene smells like both a slaughterhouse and an outhouse. But the slaughter is the overriding focus as these scattered viscera that shellacks this already dismal room is an abundance of disassembled humans. The only way you can discern the plurality of the posthumous is from there being far too many pieces for only one anatomical jigsaw puzzle. Now, before I continue, is everybody okay?
Your descriptions are delightful.
They're terrible. Now, based on that, Kate, what do you do?
Okay. Stockton, you work the desk here?
Sorry, I missed that. Say that again.
Stockton, you work the desk here?
Yeah.
Is anyone checked into that adjoining rooms or the room below?
Below, no. To the 2 units to the right, yeah. They
All
didn't.
right.
They didn't complain about anything, and you can really hear a lot of things through the walls here.
But you've seen them in and out?
I haven't seen them today.
Why don't you head downstairs, give a polite courtesy check? Nothing's going on as far as you know.
So it's not downstairs. It's the one,
Like 2 rooms down.
yeah, from where you are now.
Yeah, but still, if
Yeah.
you hadn't seen them today and the walls are
Mhm.
that thin.
So the intent here is that you're saying go downstairs and give them a courtesy call from the
Yeah, like a
desk.
courtesy
Okay.
call,
Okay.
whether it's the TV's been on the fridge, we're checking in, some
Mhm.
kind of polite hospitality bullshit.
Okay. At a very low rent place, out of
Mhm.
character, but wouldn't raise too many eyebrows in the real world.
Mhm. Nothing's the matter until we have to
Mhm.
throw some crime scene
Mhm.
tape across it.
Yeah.
People OD.
I Yeah. Yeah. And he shuffles off, and it's to the point where the cigarette almost singes his finger, but there's that shit, and he just flicks it off, and it seems to spark him moving. At least he's able to move away faster from this horror set that you're on. But now that he's gone, how is Kate doing with the paint job? Is the only way I could really describe it now.
I'm trying to think what I would roll if I needed to roll because there's not Constitution like in D&D.
There would be, well, it depends what you're trying to get across here. Is it about whether or not she throws up? Is this more about does she lose her cool and start screaming? Like, what's the.
No, I think it's when you get in such a these are all the things that need to happen immediately after, and at some
Mm-hmm.
point later, then on the checklist, I'll add and have a breakdown.
Mm-hmm.
It's that.
Okay. I'm gonna have you roll both your self-control and courage.
Okay.
I will. First, tell me how many dice you're rolling.
8.
I'm gonna put out a 5,
Okay.
only because of her political background. She's seen not this, but less cartoonishly escalated versions of this. How are we
4.
doing? 4.
Like, made a mistake of looking at chat and had to giggle for a second.
Okay. Rookie mistake.
Well,
Now,
I know.
you are able to very quickly and very easily tamp down whatever ensuing panic attack, scream, anything that would preclude you from doing your job. You are not only able to defer it to a later scheduled date that is very much of the Ventru mindset, or stamp it out entirely.
Man, I wish I could pencil in my panic.
Mm. Deferred overreaction later. But you can deal with that as you like on your own terms. Now that you've dealt with you have to deal with the situation.
Mm-hmm. The first call is to Redgrave.
Mm-hmm. 2 sharp rings. Yes.
Got a situation at Motel Savannah.
Our kind of situation or something lesser.
I think our kind.
Make the
It's
appropriate calls. I'll be there shortly.
I'll get it started.
Click. Now.
Innsbruck.
Okay. This time it's 3 rings. And it does sound like he's in the middle of conversation when he picks up. Oh, Fulton, what can I do for you?
This is a business call. How quickly can you send a cleanup team?
Some of the address.
All right. And I will drop him a pin.
Mm-hmm. Click. Any other calls?
Okay, Kate knows more than I do at this
Mm-hmm.
moment. Is this something you also let Halsey know? Is that overstepping Redgrave? Is this something worth calling Vega over? I know you can't give me all the answers, but
What's your impulse?
call Vega because someone, I don't think this is just like a for funsies little Dexter episode. I think this is us because I don't think Lupine's getting past Jethro. Someone has gone on a frenzy.
It's a good
Something
rationale, but
has
what's your
gone on a
call?
frenzy. I'm gonna call Vega.
Okay. It brings longer than you probably would have wanted. Hola.
Vega, I've got a work situation. The Motel Savannah.
And what makes you think it wants my attention?
We've got a couple of guests here that missed check-in. And I think a mutual friend might have gotten into some trouble.
Oh, interesting. I know where it is. Did you make other calls?
Of course, Redgrave and Innsbruck are on their way.
Click. Now, while it will take some time for them to get there, what else would you like to do in the meantime?
I don't have any cleanup materials.
I think you would know, having worked that one sort of shadowing of Innsbruck, that you doing anything
Would make it
is just going to make things worse. Like, you
Yeah.
smartly would not have even stepped in as much as sort of leaned over the threshold to see the mayhem.
I do want to lean in one more time, and this less of a, oh, that's what happened. They've painted the walls with gore. And anyone, please just give me a little wave if my macabre jokes are too much. I am making light of a gruesome situation. Looking at it with a studious eye this time. Is there any kind of clues? Not that, Kate has taken criminology or
forensic science.
forensics. That's the word I was thinking of. Yes,
Okay.
but this.
I'll let you roll
Yeah.
either perception or intelligence with either science or medicine.
Oh no. It's gonna be a higher difficulty.
Is there any other argument for a skill that you'd like to make?
Investigation?
That's more if you are directly rooting through some things.
Okay.
And since you're not sort of thumbing through the Rolodex of someone's scattered life at the moment.
Cool. We're gonna keep this at a step up DC then.
Okay. Which one are you rolling?
They're both the same. Let's use intelligence.
Yes, and then what's
Yes.
the knowledge that you're rolling? Because that changes things.
Oh, I don't have either.
But which one is flavoring this?
Okay, that you said science or medicine? Medicine, because I have canonically said that I lived with a med student for a year or two.
Okay. So let's put this at, because there's also some distance. I'll leave it at a 7. You may not get a lot of details.
One success.
One success.
I was fully expecting a botch on this one. I've been rolling a lot of ones tonight.
Hubris is fun. Now, some of the parts that you can see, they do not look as if they're done with tools. It's too rough. More akin to either claws or ripping and tearing. I want you to think about how if stretch marks were taken to 11, just pulled like taffy.
Or Gumby.
Now, knowing that,
I
your theory of
didn't really see.
Mhm.
No, you showed us the arm, but it was
Mm.
squishifying by the time we saw the Mudman's
Yes.
arm. So we didn't really get to see the
What
way it had been
you're
like
seeing,
ripped.
though, is this is not decaying. This is not congealing in place. This looks more like
For a delightful human being.
this
Sick,
looks
twisted friend.
more like the aftermath of a car crash and localized entirely within a motel room.
Yeah, and I meant less of like congealing and more of like the way in which like a ripped off arm appeared when a gangrel got its claws in.
It would be hard to say
Yeah,
because you saw it
there's
in such a
carnage.
decayed state
That there
that
wasn't
it,
as much. Yeah.
yeah. Well, you got a better look at the severed limb. There wasn't much to really look at by that point.
It was pretty gross by
Whereas
then.
this is much more intact, but you'd have to be in the room to really get a good exact look to compare. But it does look more handmade rather than done by tools.
When vampires are final death, does it still look fairly human?
It depends on age.
Okay.
And
Because
to an
Max,
extent,
because we can't make an episode without a Max joke.
clan does play a part of it. You know that Nosferatu already change that physiology meter a little bit. Everything that you're seeing, from what you can tell, looks like human. It doesn't look to be the like advanced decay from where you are.
Cool.
It doesn't look like anything's turning to dust or ash, or it looks months or years of decomposition in the day that this has allegedly happened. This looks fresh.
And it would take coming in with Innsbruck and his team to be able to glance any potential remaining faces and look for things like wallets, right?
Only if you want to go in and potentially either contaminate a crime scene or you coming out wearing part of the crime scene.
Nope, I'll wait.
There are other things you can do in the meantime. As you've had just a couple of phone calls. You have peered in, you're doing your little checklist in your head, and he wanders back up the stairs. Sort of reedy man in the ponytail that's long out of date. But they're not picking up. Their car's still here. And he's sort of shakily holding out a key. He's glancing at it, but he does not want to go over there.
Hand me the key, I'll make a wellness check. Can you pull me the names of guests for both rooms who checked in? Any copies of IDs?
He just scuttles off to go deal with that. He's glad for the excuse to just not be there anymore.
Go knock on the door.
No answer.
I'll do one more really loud knock and kind of announce, it's a wellness check.
Still no answer.
All right, I'll unlock it.
There's one very, very small lamp in the corner on an end table. That's the only light source in the room. Not even the TV is on, but you can hear, you can hear that it's on, but it's dark. As if they have put it on a channel and there's currently nothing airing on it. The young man is on the floor, but seated. Sort of forearms across his knees as he sort of folded up a bit, staring off into space.
You all right there?
Huh? What? What? And he's not with it at the moment. He's not entirely sure that you're there, is the impression you're very quickly getting. But gradually, he is climbing back into his own skull. And he just starts pointing at the wall that would be not immediately adjoining, but due to the thinness of the walls, they might as well be.
What's your name?
Rob?
Can I make a very silly request for this scene? Can we pick a different name that is not a direct family member's name?
Tom.
Thanks. Is it bright enough to see? Does Tom have any blood on him? I'm basically trying to figure out if he is in shock because of what he heard or because of what he did.
You see no signs of blood. You see nothing that would have been tracked in on either himself or on the carpet.
What happened, Tom?
And all you can see for a moment as the dam comes down. He was this blank-faced individual that it seems like whatever willpower was there was blocking out all of that. And the second you ask, it just starts pouring out of the eyes. Instant blubbering, incoherent babbling. The few words that you can make out is just the screams. He says it over and over again.
Look, I'm good at what I do. People are gonna come fix things. I'm gonna stay right here. Everything's gonna be fine. Okay?
And he's kind of going back into that catatonia a little bit.
Tom,
Uh,
why don't you take a hot shower? Stay right here.
yeah.
Don't leave the room till I come talk to you again, okay?
Uh, now, My question for the player, given her skill set, there is something that she could do here,
Hmm.
but would she? Or is she picking a moment to do it?
I'm going to pick a moment to do it. I want to let the team get here,
Mm-hmm.
see if they want to question him
Mm-hmm.
before I make him forget or try to make him forget. That's why I told him to take a shower and just stay
Mm-hmm.
put.
Do you stay there to watch him get up and go to the bathroom, or you just walk out and kind of hope he acquiesces?
I'll do that because, I mean, it will help, but if he goes catatonic again,
Mm-hmm.
it's not going to hurt that he stays still.
Yeah.
I will lock the door with the key I have.
Okay. Yeah, as you step out, he hasn't moved. Now, due to where Redgrave is typically, she'd have to drive clear across the county, so it's going to be a little while. Vega is the first to arrive. Now, I don't know if you saw her Italian car before.
Potentially at the cottage after the Mudman incident.
Potentially. That's not what she's driving tonight. But for those that saw what Jethro was driving, she's riding shotgun in that older sort of, I want to say it was like a Dodge Challenger or something like that. GTO, in that same kind of style of car. Very much an old American muscle car. She gets out and she starts doing these sort of very sharp and angular motions as if she's looking for threats. A hand is on her hip. Jethro seems to be staying in the car for now. Do you go down to greet her or?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well,
Got quite a bit of a mess upstairs. I will lead her to the room.
mm-hmm. Now I'm assuming you closed it before walking away. We're just
Mhm.
letting the air in
Yeah.
at this.
I'm assuming that
Mm-hmm.
Stockton gave me the key to the room.
Mm-hmm. We can make that work.
Yeah.
She follows suit in the sense of she looks, but she doesn't start peering in, or rather, she doesn't start walking through the room. But you notice, I'm not even going to make you roll for it, that absolutely stone-faced. Except for very sort of narrowed eyes. In fact, it's less revulsion, concern. You can see anger. And you found no one?
No one. There's a guest 2 doors down who's shaken up. I see if anyone wants to interview him before I make him forget.
Good. But
You have an
not that.
idea? Sorry. Missed what
She's
you
about
said.
to step away when you ask, you have an idea. And it's almost a snarl when she says, "What do you think that is?"
Claws. So it's either gangrel or a lupine slipped in. Be my guess.
No. Sabat. They like to
I
do
have
little rituals.
above table. I have heard a lot about them, but I have no direct experience because that was before my time, right?
No direct experience. It's mostly a set of fairy tales to tell the younger or inexperienced. You've heard a lot about it. You've even heard a few stories here about some of the last
Would I
incursions.
have gotten any direct information about stuff from Vesper?
In the sense of, you know that they partake in kinds of rituals, a lot of, not even like bloody sacrifice or anything like that. It's more just cruel sport because they're a death cult. That's what you really get out of it. It's less about them being, oh, they're a different political group of vampires, and more just they are self-indulgent wannabe nightmares who worship death.
Gotta make another phone call.
I've seen this many times before. This is the kind of little rite that they do for shits and grins. I have to go talk to that one now.
As she steps down to Jethro, I'm gonna call Halsey.
Okay. She is sort of motioning for Jethro to come up the stairs and points him at the room. She's going, like, she looks at the door, she looks to you. Key?
Hand it over.
Yeah. And she goes in to deal with that. Before you get on the phone, you do see a van, another car, and actually, Cora would recognize this car as Nina steps out of it. I'm assuming you start waving them over as you...
As I make the call.
We'll make a long story short of, you are sort of directing Innsbruck's attention. He's no longer dressed in his suit as you have come to see him, but much like when you went to that house in the gated community, he's dressed more for work. You've not properly met Nina, but I think you can kind of pick her out as what she does by how she moves, where she goes. And she looks at you. Vega?
Inside.
She heads in. Individuals from Innsbruck's van follow him into the room. You have a moment to step away. Just before you make your call, Stockton will hand you a few IDs.
I'm kind of nod at him and I'll get you at the desk if I need you.
And he's quick to be gone. And you call Halsey. Yes.
Got a situation. Redgrave's on her way. Innsbruck and Vega are here. After Vega's initial opinion, I thought it's time to elevate. Okay, how do I convey Sabat over the phone without saying
Hmm.
Sabat?
You would have been given some code phrases when you were working there and during
Mhm.
some of your orientation when it went from being the mundane stuff to being okay, you're in the advanced class now away from everyone else. There would have been things like, is this a tier one or tier two? And do you this is tier five kind of thing. Would have been, it's a way of saying this is a bad security situation, but no one's going to use tier five unless they're talking about this.
Okay, so this would be a tier 5.
Yeah.
This is a tier 5 situation, sir.
I'm on my way. I'm assuming you've notified anyone else that needs to be.
I've called Redgrave, Innsbruck, and Vega. Do you think you should let Brooks know?
Is Jethro there?
He is, along with Nita.
I'll let him know.
Thank you.
Click. Now we can sort of begin to gloss over some of this as people are setting to work, conversations are had, other people arrive. Primogen and Whip arrive more or less at the same time. There is the rehashing of the information you already know, the rehashing of the things you don't know yet, between um, Vega's assertion about what it may be, and various eyes and things are collected.
I'll take a look at the IDs I was given.
Mm-hmm. The best thing that or the easiest way I can put this is that they're just people. There's nothing to suggest rhyme or reason. And as the IDs are passed around, Vega is the one that speaks up in the sense of they're just people. They don't matter. Not to them. They were just in the wrong room at the wrong time.
There's a witness who didn't see anything but heard 2 doors down. Got him locked in his room. I didn't know if anyone wanted to talk to him before I made him forget.
Again, Vega will direct her attention to the other powers that be. I inquired further. He does not seem to know anything. And even if he said anything, he would be thrown away in the asylum. Halsey will look at you. You're confident you can take that away?
Mm-hmm.
Go do it.
Okay.
Now, in order to do this,
Mm-hmm.
there is a scale of successes.
Mm-hmm.
So, and many things that we roll, I just need you to get one success. Or as we have found out on occasion, you need two to make this not an edge case. I will tell you now what you would need, and you can tell me what you're going to be aiming for.
Mm-hmm.
Due to the fact that they are kind of shell shocked, this is a mere DC of 3 because this is based on willpower. They don't have a lot right now.
Mm-hmm.
This will require 4 successes to fully remove this from their mind. 3 successes would allow her to simply edit the memory instead to make it more of drug deal gone bad or anything like that. 2 would be all that's necessary to outright remove the memory, but you would leave a substantial gap. This is where taking the willpower auto success really starts to matter. So, because other times it's just about getting by. If you want to really go above and beyond and do this person a kindness.
Can I spend 2 willpower once?
You can only spend one.
Okay, then I'm definitely going to spend 1.
Just be sure to mark it down as your temporary.
Mm-hmm. Okay, it's a DC 3.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, let me double check that I'm rolling enough. It's because it's wits empathy.
Wits subterfuge.
It's subterfuge?
Mm-hmm. Tell me what kind of alteration you want to do. Are you trying to just delete the memory and just go, you didn't hear anything, you were just watching TV, and nothing of any importance happened that evening? Or is this you're trying to weave reality with an untruth? What's the stated goal here?
I would like to man shitty motels and shitty walls, and people just don't know how to be courteous and turn down the TV.
So you want to go with somebody pulled up something on the pay cable
Mm-hmm.
and was just an asshole.
Yeah.
Okay. They couldn't sleep,
Maybe
and that's why they're
even put in
so
some of the like beating on the wall, being like, shut the fuck up.
okay.
And just
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. Yeah, we can work with that.
Sometimes the simplest is
The best use of dominate is not construction from whole cloth, but scaffolding. Give them the basics, and then the brain fills it in. But let's see how you roll.
okay. Okay, it's easier to take out the one that wasn't a success than 2. Okay.
Okay.
Eight successes.
8 successes.
I could restructure entire periods of his life. And the willpower, so 9.
Okay. So what I'll say is you can reconstruct whatever you want from the last 2 days to make it more seamlessly blend. If this was a noise complaint, they have lost sleep, and they've just been kind of spaced out and catching up on sleep, and they clearly need more.
Mm-hmm.
And the wellness check was just, hey buddy, you okay? No. And they're able to just, they look like 2 different people now. The absolutely shell-shocked individual that you found versus someone who just looks sleepless. I'm gonna go take a shower and go to bed.
All right. Call the front desk if you need anything.
Okay. And there's some animation to them now. They look still pale, but it's because their physiology hasn't caught up with what you've made them believe. And as far as you know, that holds.
All right, I'll head back 2 doors down to see what our next steps are.
The next steps, thankfully, don't involve you, because there is a team that's much more dedicated to this exact line of work. Some things are being collected, other things are just being scrubbed. You can see the wallpaper, cheap as it is, being ripped down. You see various tools being used to scrape out what has soaked through into the materials beneath. Carpet being ripped up, things being just packed into plastic bags. Even what is considered furniture in a generous context is being removed step by step. You do see that Vega and Nina have also suited up in that sort of quasi hazmat gear of being able to go through a crime scene without contaminating it, looking for the clues as they're just ripping things out. And you get the impression it's less about looking for what could have done this and more just, did this dumb asshole leave anything behind? You do see Nina close her eyes at one point with her hand hovering over the floor at one point, just where a now hardened pile of blood would be. Shaking her head, taking a deep breath and doing the same over, how can I put this kindly? An exposed rib cage. Rack of human. She holds one of the errant ribs. Nothing. And everyone gets properly to work. You do see Halsey down in his car with Rook outside of it as if he is acting as security. If you do approach, he just holds up a hand. And he does, Halsey seems to be making phone calls. And it's more rote. There doesn't seem to be any anger or animation in his mannerisms. It seems very much directing, telling people where to go. But as the tenseness of the situation is reaching that unfortunately comfortable ebb, what do you do?
Redgrave still around?
Mm-hmm. She's talking with Stockton.
I'll go check in with him.
Mm-hmm. He's on probably a whole new pack of cigarettes. And she just acknowledges you and more just having a little back and forth with him just to see if she can shake anything loose that he might have forgotten. But what do you say to her?
I'll give him back the spare key he gave me for Tom's room.
He nods and he takes it from you.
I guess she'll be fine.
He doesn't seem to really know what that means, but she nods in acknowledgement. She looks to you as if that silent ask of, is there something you want to talk about?
Is there anything else I can help with?
I'm going to be canvassing the rest of the room, so I want you to help. I don't believe there was anything that we need to be too concerned about in that sense, but dot the I's and such. And unless there's anything you'd like to add, I think it's a good point to fade out on how mundane that particular misery is.
Mm-hmm.
Now, before I move on, how's everybody doing? Does anybody need their mind blanked out by Kate over here, or everybody good? Okay. So, Cora, how about a change of pace?
Cora, okay.
You have left the track. Pursuit driving was never really part of your skill set because it's not the same as racing. It's not so much that you're trying to get around a person to be first. You're just trying to either stop them in some way or get away from them. So it's a different way of looking at what you're otherwise used to doing. And while one session alone doesn't make you an expert, your skill set makes this a lot easier to pick up than it would be for most people out the gate. So you can at least leave the track feeling like accomplished maybe is the wrong word, but you've expanded on some things you thought you knew.
Good, yes. I think that feels good. I think that the repetitions, the coaching, it reminded Cora before she graduated from the other drivers and was sort of poached over into that more hybrid role that she ended up occupying, working with them. So it was pleasant.
And now that you have left this behind, what do you want to do with the rest of your evening?
Right. I think on the way home, she's going to, using her Bluetooth, because she's a safe driver, place a phone call to Lewis.
Okay. Hello?
Hey, Lewis? It's Cora. I don't know if you recognize my number, if you've got me taken down yet.
I do.
Say, I was wondering if you'd like to come and hang out at the apartment. It's a little bit empty, but just the last time we tried to get together, last few times, I noticed it wasn't really your scene.
Yeah, me and crowds. Sure.
Okay, great. I'm on my way home right now, so just whenever you feel like it. I don't think I'm going anywhere else for the night.
Sure, I'll see you there.
All right. See you soon.
Okay. So, do you do any quick errands on the way home? Do you try to feed? Do you... It's just straight home.
I think I wouldn't want to have told him I'll be there and not make it home on time.
Mhm.
So I won't try to feed tonight. But maybe I'll stop at like I'll stop and get like some pickup Chinese to go so that we have like an interesting scent for the space.
A centerpiece.
Yeah. um so we're not going to eat it, but at least it'll be something that we can engage with.
In the TV adaptation of this, I like the idea of they are collecting the detritus of a person in this hotel room. You hear hands moving, cracking things, and then just that intercut of moving the takeout on a plate.
Yes. uh, Not the squelching of body parts becoming the cutting of egg noodles.
Spare ribs. I know I picked the right people for this. So, you picked up some things. You also have the ability to make coffee to welcome someone into your home.
I will absolutely be doing that as well.
Mm-hmm. As you are getting things sorted, you are, of course, reminded of the fact that you don't have really any furniture to speak of yet. You have the bare appliances, some mostly empty cupboards, and a cot that you are sleeping on with very nice sheets. But that's about it.
Cora is going to remove the nice sheets from her cot and pull it into the main area, and then take her suitcases
Mm-hmm.
and set them on either side of it so they've got a place to sit, and have so then the takeout will be on the counter, but it'll be ready to
Mm-hmm.
sit in front of them along with the coffee.
Mm-hmm. Eventually, you do hear the knock, knock, knock downstairs.
Sure, perfect. Cora also will take off her suit jacket while she's working and go downstairs,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll answer the door.
You do find Lewis in his, well, maybe not 5 o'clock shadow, but 2 o'clock shadow that is perpetually there.
And Cora's got the perpetual bags under her eyes, dark circles.
Hey,
Hey, Lewis. It's good to see you.
and he seems to have also considered the social contract, and he is holding a 6-pack of beers by the the plastic ring set there.
It's like, hey, this is going to be perfect. I'll take them and like give him a hug as I'm grabbing the set.
The hug very much catches him off guard. Uh, he doesn't seem like he's pulling away, but it's more just, oh right, people do this. Sort of reaches around and just there's that awkward pat of how many of these do I do before this is over?
I think Cora will laugh at that a little bit, like
Mhm.
not like a big guffaw, but just like a little subtle laugh, and then go, I'm getting used to having friends too." And then we'll walk up the like,
Mhm.
I'd warn you about the stairs, but I remember from last time you've already got it.
Yeah, and he'll close the door behind and locked or unlocked.
Locked, please.
Okay, click. Do you
Yeah,
take your shoes off when you go upstairs, or
I think she does. Yeah.
okay? He notices that and he kind of awkwardly sort of shuffles out of his
Yeah, there's sort
shoes.
of a landing where the shoes and things can go. That like lower space is basically like sort of a mudroomy situation almost.
Mhm.
So, and that's it. Everything else is upstairs. Cora will skip the really creaky step and try to hug the wall as to not touch the wobbly railing.
And as you get upstairs and you start setting up your meal is maybe the wrong word, but window dressing.
Sure.
This pantomime of life that you are putting together.
So I've got some fried rice, some egg foo young. There's a few things. I wasn't sure what you liked best. And no, we're not going to eat, of course. But I figured, it could smell nice.
He shrugs out of his coat and he only now realizes that there's nowhere to really hang it.
Oh, of course. Cora's gonna quick set down the cans
Mm,
um, next to the like laid out boxes of food
mhm.
and plates on the counter, and she'll grab his coat and go over to her closet bedroom and grab one of her own hangers and set it on that and put it in there. There, with the other suits, it's perfect.
And he looks at this um, sort of picnic blanket situation that you've set up and just anywhere or
Yeah, of course. I figured if you want, we could sit on the suitcases and we have the cot there to sort of, use as a table and could just sit and chat for a while. I've got a deck of cards too, if we get bored.
he looks at you for a moment and you have discussed aspects of your arrangements. You haven't
We
gone into
have.
all the details, but enough that you kind of have a little bit of a sense of each other's, at least along the periphery of what it is.
Mhm.
Cards with you might be interesting.
I was sort of thinking that too.
Yeah, okay. And
Great.
but I'm assuming before you do that, you want to go through the at least imitation of life and have
Sure.
the sort of sit down, not quite really dinner, but waft in the aromas.
Yeah, I think we'll plate up some food and open the beers. Um, Although, oh gosh, do I have a bottle opener? I might not. Um,
Oh,
I'll
these are
be
just they're like tall boy
okay. Oh,
cans,
good, good,
so
perfect. The cans. That's right. You said that. All right. We'll open the
and he hangs
cans.
out with Harlan, so you imagine that even if they were bottles, he'd probably find some counter and just
Yes.
bop it on the head kind of thing.
So I was wondering if maybe you would show up at the opera anyway a few days ago. Almost expected to see you there. It was quite a crowd.
That's kind of why I don't really like going.
I'm sure. I'm sure. So, have you heard much about it since?
I usually do.
So this wasn't the first time there's been an event like this.
It's kind of seasonal for Dalton.
Oh, wow. Okay. Another one every season. It's impressive.
Sometimes it's something new or um, like a what do you call it? A revival of something classic with a however he wants to spin it.
It was original piece this time. It was really thought-provoking.
Hmm. What was your
Uh,
takeaway?
I'm not certain, but I think it was about us. It was about this sort of liminal life we're all in, and the way it can get away from you, or the way you can get used during it.
Yeah, probably.
There was a sort of well, I don't want to spoil it for you.
Hmm. Go ahead.
There's sort of a moment at the end, and it was unclear if it was an end or absolution, really stepping into something else.
I think the uncertainty is the point.
I think so too.
Do you ever seen the end of Sopranos?
Uh, no, no, I never did.
There's a moment at the end where it's all this hype and build up, and you think something is going to happen. Everybody's meeting at some restaurant. You make it seem like there's about to be a hit put out on them. But the final shot is just a hand opening up a door, that little bell ring. Tony Soprano looks over his shoulder to see who it is. Cut to black. Was that his daughter finally joining the group? Was that the hitman? Did it really matter? And it doesn't. Because whether it's today or tomorrow, he's always going to be looking over his shoulder. He lives with uncertainty.
Hmm. You know, I'd say that's not so different from life, right? That something's going to come knocking for us all eventually, or at least it did before. With this now, I don't know if it makes it easier or harder that there's the possibility of this just going.
You notice a slight fidget with his fingers as the conversation is veered in this direction. We all live with the idea that everything's uncertain. Sometimes it's worse when it is.
Do you and if this is too tough, of course you don't have to answer, but with your is it do you know, like, if when you look at me or yourself in the mirror,
It doesn't really work that way. I just get flashes. Some of it I can parse, most of it I can't. I might be able to know who's involved, but not how or why. When I do, it's only because it's already happened. Puzzle only makes sense once you put it together.
It has to be incredibly frustrating having a feeling like something is coming all the time.
And he nods in acknowledgement, but he's not making eye contact on that.
Is me and Essen, my sire, the way our curse works is kind of very close to one another, from what I understand. Is it like that for you and yours?
I can't really go into that too much. It doesn't work the same way as Grace's.
How'd you meet Grace anyway?
She would say predictive modeling. That we were going to meet one way or the other.
That makes me think of Essen a lot, actually. But with him, we already had. A lot of times.
What do you miss?
About Frankfurt?
He shrugs, leaving it very open-ended.
When I first woke up after being embraced, it was jarring, but there was a sense of relief. I'd been in sort of a thankless job, just going through the motions. Sort of turned myself into a robot. With Essen and Gerhard Heinrich, my guys. There was a lot of possibility and newness. It felt like a weird little sort of family there, and I liked that a lot. It was nice not to be so alone. And I feel like maybe I'm starting to get that here in some sort of way. But I miss that. What about you? Is there anything from before? Maybe?
He's not making eye contact at the moment, but he is wearing this sort of wistful, maybe slightly mournful smile. I miss not being trapped by possibility.
Mm. Trapped by possibility, you said.
Sometimes too much intuition's a bad thing.
Yeah. Is that sort of why when we all got together for the movie night, or the time we all went out to the bar and you didn't want to stick around? It's sort of an overwhelm of possibilities.
The opposite.
Oh, it narrowed.
When there's too many, it all just becomes a bit of white noise and I can deal with it. But there are times when too many things overlap. Either the right circumstance, the right people, the right place. Happens more when there's more people. And then sometimes it doesn't. It's very confusing.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure mine out too. There's, it's sort of, it's like a bleed, like when early into when I arrived, or I guess no, was it just a few days ago? I was at the cottage, and I was looking at a clock, and the clock said it was the middle of the day. It clearly wasn't. or the drive in to Wormslow. It was so pretty. The trees on the leaves on the trees, the ground. I saw every season on that drive multiple times. Uh, so sometimes it's very nice, but there are other moments. I'm finding that difficult things stick with me quite a lot. So many times I've turned on the headlights of my car and getting ready to go for a drive. So I'm delivering things for Grace and Matilda, and they glow that orange red of a flare. um, it's
At that, he gives this little like head tilt and quizzical expression, like he's understanding that it's triggering something for you, but he doesn't understand road flare. And he's not asking as much as letting you continue.
yeah, we had a run-in with Artem and Chris and I with something in the woods. It was pretty frightening. I used the flare to scare it off. So now, when I flip on lights, sometimes that's the light that I get.
Hmm. Have you mentioned any of that to Leland?
Oh yes, yeah. uh, the worst and best part is sometimes I'm just not here at all. I'm back home or other places, and I don't think I want to talk about. But when it's the little things, it's kind of interesting though. So yeah, I think you're right. Once we get to playing cards, maybe it'll be a little fun. I apologize in advance if I uh, get into a little bit of a disagreement with you about the hand that I played. I might have been remembering from a couple times ago.
All the excuses start already.
Yeah, yeah, they do. I'm just making sure that we have the ground rules set. Which
I think from there we can fade in to that game.
perfect.
And I would say it doesn't really matter which way it goes or who wins. But you do notice one overarching thing during these sets of games, especially from him: uncertainty. Maybe it's a mix of your derangements canceling each other out, that far too much chaos creates some equilibrium in the world finally. Or maybe it's in such a way that they are complementing one another that the algorithm of reality behaves the way it fucking should. And you can both be actually surprised.
There's definitely some laughs and exclamations at that surprise. It just sort of do you know, I don't believe any of this has ever happened before, and that feels really nice.
And I think in between cracking beers, there's a semblance of life to be had amongst all the untruth of what you actually are.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything else you'd like to add before we fade out from this?
Well, I do have another little track to go on, potentially, that kind of gears back more into some serious talk. But we can play that, or we can leave it, depending on how we're all feeling.
Let's get to one or two questions.
Okay, sure. So I noticed at the opera that Grace and Matilda seem fairly in sync, and we all kind of do. Leland was talking to me about these threads that sort of connect us all. We don't always see. I got the feeling that and our curses sort of made people not like us so much. I haven't got that feeling here. Is that Matilda that's doing, or?
What do you mean?
I don't know. Is she's like a leader for us, or caretaker? Is Prince Brooks's just general attitude such that we can get around just fine without anybody throwing tomatoes at us?
Have you been to Bethesda?
I was there, yeah. It's when I heard some whispers and got into talking to Leland about those chords.
Well, so all kindred are the same in the sense that some are cognizant, capable, have utility at court, or at the very least aren't causing problems. Every clan has the ones that do cause problems. And with us, that's more prevalent. And for some of us, it's like a psychic weapon of mass destruction. So there is that distrust, concern. And so the ones who can't be trusted, what do you think happens to them?
So here you have me wondering if Bethesda is a kindness because they're still living in there, or if it's the opposite. And if that's why that we keep ourselves in shape. And that's those of us who get to walk free get the favorable treatment as a result.
Favorable or just baseline for everyone else? We just have a higher bar to clear. Well, that or it's all the bars that the Nosferatu have to clear, or the other bars that Gangrel have to clear. And all the other stigmas that Tremere deal with, though some of that they deserve, I don't know. I just am not giving them any of my blood. We're all fucked in our own unique little way.
I suppose we are. I suppose we are. I'm glad at least the way that you and I are fucked personally seems to be working out.
Uh, what?
I mean,
Is this a date?
I hadn't thought it was.
I'm fucking with you. Give me like my one.
Of course.
And it dawns on you that this is probably the most personable he's probably been in a while.
Hmm. Yeah, this is good.
But I think we can end that on a little bit of a high note.
Absolutely.
Or a low high note considering the surrounding topic. And we can go on break. We'll see you in a little bit, folks. Welcome back to the back half of Savannah by Night. And now we pick up with our Toreador, who has just been told by a potential benefactor slash potential boss, go forth and do crime. And now she needs to figure out exactly what that crime is, who or where she will be casing and ultimately absconding with.
Yes. Does Poppy know if Nico's working at the shop today or if he would be home?
He's not home. You can presume he's either at the shop or he's out and about gallivanting.
Poppy in that case will shoot him a text just hey, can I chat with you about the meeting I just had?
Dot dot dot. And you just get back the shop.
Great. So she will head on over in that direction. She'll drive. And I think she's a little giddy, but cautiously giddy now that Hezekiah was very clear that who she chose to rob is going to be a big choice.
Mm-hmm.
Or who she chooses to rob.
Now, you of course have keys to this place, as it is locked until you are buzzed in if you are a customer.
Right.
While it is a nice upscale place, that's the reason why it has to be so lock and key. But you can bypass all that and step in. Are you dressed for elegance at the moment? You went to go meet a Ventru.
Yes, so she's wearing like kind of an all black, more business casual look. Like with a little black blazer. Since it's still the summertime, she probably is wearing just kind of a nice, like maybe uh like embroidered or bedazzled tank top kind of thing. Not actually bedazzled, but like beaded or something. Something that's a little elevated. And just some black slacks and so she looks like she could be working a shift at the store for sure, but yeah. She's not in her usual artful elegance, just normal elegance.
He seems to be shaking hands with an older gentleman as he is clearly making a sale. He's warmly gesturing over to the cash where Elena or Renata, you're not entirely sure, is operating. It's all smiles and glad handing, sees him off, and sees you, swaves you over. Then he's, waving goodbye to the man. And he escorts you into the office.
Good day at work?
Oh, whenever I can sell something for more than it's worth and someone seems happy to give me their money.
Very good job.
I thought so. And he just glides into his chair, hands behind his head, looking just resplendently smug.
So I just, as you know, met with Mr. Hezekiah, and he seemed very receptive to all the things that I told him about myself, all of my various abilities, and he wants me to prove myself with a heist of sorts.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
And he wants me to take something that will suit his own art collection, which is fine. It's fine. It's standard. Um, but
You
he also
realize
warned,
the art isn't the point.
no, the art is not the point for him. At
No.
least it's just the ability and the specifically not getting caught by anybody trapped up in the security company that seems to case Savannah,
Mm-hmm.
which I had not considered. Um, it's only a small wrinkle, of course, but it's making me a little more nervous about picking my target. And I was wondering if you had any sort of
Hmm.
experience, and she kind of does like a up and down glance of him in this area.
What are you implying?
That well,
Because yes.
okay, well then yes, you know what I'm implying, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I was wondering if you've I don't know, danced around the security issue here.
I have. Most of the things I don't do at home for all the obvious reasons.
Right. Well, that's
So that doesn't say that I don't dabble here and there when it suits me, and I want to embarrass someone, or I don't think they deserve that little bit of joy in their life.
yes, and that's kind of why I got into this in the first place. And that's something that I want to well, since I'm new, I really don't know many of the big money bags of Savannah
Hmm.
yet, or what they stand for or don't stand for, or hoard.
So here's the problem. There are some people on my client list that I could go through and slide in your direction that, if handled correctly, could effectuate exactly what you're looking to do. But there has to be some layers of distance because it would be easy to connect the dots of you work for me. It's
Yes.
uncomfortable. However, while I do engage with some of the high and mighty of the social elite of the mortal populace, you would be better served going a different route entirely. Now, if you can't find anyone, you can go through me and we'll find something. I'm sure I have someone on my Rolodex that I wouldn't mind seeing taking out a few 1,000 pegs or so.
Hmm.
And you do seem kind of spaced off for a second, like he actually is sort of itemizing who he'd love to destroy in that moment. But, and I'll help you cross-reference, but the people who tend to flit about in the social echelons that maybe you'd like to infiltrate, you might want to talk to one or two people at Wormslow.
Hmm.
Consider this part of the test. Getting them to maybe invite you to something without them knowing what you're going there for.
That's a great idea. I mean, I do thrive in an environment full of champagne and pretty dresses.
Oh, indeed, I remember.
Hmm. Oh, well, you met me at a more near nude time in my life.
I fail to see how that's my problem. But anywho,
Hmm.
if
Yeah.
because this is now the layer of protection you need of you're just trying to get a better sense of the social scene and you're not going through me, but you're going through one of the other, I don't know, roses, blue bloods, even a few of the Malkavians would be a good get.
Which of the Malkavians?
Well, the top two.
Okay. I don't think I've met either of them.
And you may have seen them, Matilda, Grace.
Hmm.
They tend to flit about in the high society.
Okay. Matilda, maybe Tylene. Um, I at least already have chatted with her quite a bit, and I feel like since she's so involved with SCAD, I'm sure she gets invited to all sorts of things.
Oh, I'm sure. There's also... oh, I don't know if you're ready for this one. You can always go and poke Ava Lash and see how that goes.
I I've heard things about her and her lessons. Apparently Kate took some lessons with her. And so did Ellie, the
Oh.
Nosferatu. And I'm so curious what they were
Oh,
doing,
she's burning through the lot of you like a rash. Fun.
I guess. Okay, Ava Lash. And Poppy's like actually like puts this in her notes app. Ava Lash, Matilda, Tylene. And the Blue Bloods, I mean, I feel like this is almost too close to them if I'm trying to avoid security issues.
Well, it is high stakes what we do now, isn't it?
Mm.
Now the
Huh.
question is, and he reaches over and he's almost like he's just about to boop you on the nose. Isn't that half the fun?
Yeah.
You could get caught and it would be so bad if it happens. But it feels so fucking great to get away with it now, doesn't it?
Yes. Yes, it does. It's been a while since I've done anything larger than, I don't know, a veterinary heist or grabbing a chain off a guy at a club.
Oh, you're starting to depress me now.
Mm. Yeah, that's what I'm here to do. And Poppy like kind of goes to stand up. She goes, "This was very helpful. I think I will head on over to Wormslow, see if I can get myself invited somewhere."
There you go. Use
Thank you for
all
your wisdom.
use all those charms.
Mm, all of them.
It's gotten you this far.
It's true. Yeah, I'm sure I can find somebody to invite me to something. I just have to get it done quick.
Well, here's the thing. There's a certain sincerity behind the eyes that I know you possess. There's also, and I mean this with respect, a sadness, a desperation.
Right.
But even those can be virtues when applied correctly.
Sad puppy needs a gala invite. I'll make it work.
You're the new lonely girl in town. You don't know where to go.
Great. Yeah. Yeah, no, I can play to that. I can play to that.
You can lead into you are the raw clay that they can mold. Though be careful how you use that one because that's how That's how you get a Bobby.
Oh, I don't
Yeah.
mind Bobby from this perspective. Wouldn't want to be Bobby. Very happy to
Exactly my
see Bobby.
point.
Yeah.
You don't want to get her maker's attention now, would you?
No, not at all.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
I'll report back, or I won't. We'll see. I don't want to bring you into the inner circle if it's just tumultuous.
nope, do let me know if you need any accoutrement.
I will. Thank you very much.
Have fun.
Oh, I will. I will.
And remember, I know nothing.
Nothing at all. No thoughts. Not even ABC. Bye, Niko.
And just as you're heading out here on the buzzer, Renata, would you mind seeing me in the back room?
Renata. And Poppy like makes a note like that's Renata. Renata has the bangles on or something. Like she has this bracelet or this necklace.
And I'm
And she'll
assuming now you're heading out to Wormslow.
yes.
Now, as is wont to do for many Toreador, do you change up the facade or are you going as is?
Ooh. She needs to become an ingenue. So she'll probably I mean, does she have time to go back to the house and change, or is she gonna need to pick up clothes on the way?
I would say you have time, not a lot of time, but
Okay. She'll quickly get back to the house and put on she has like a sundress that is very boho kind of patchwork, very pretty. Um and some like nice wedgy sandals.
Mhm.
Yeah. And she'll head
So
back
a
out.
little bit like the sort of like summer picnic before the debutante ball kind of thing.
Yes, very that, very that. Like should probably have a sun hat, but she's not that debutante kind of thing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
She has it in the car, but she's not wearing it.
Yes. Yeah. No. She has it. She has it. It just wouldn't make sense as it is nighttime. A moon
Mhm.
hat.
But I believe your car has a moon roof, so
That is true.
now, as is tradition, when you get to the gate and you're stopped by Julius, anything to declare?
Just it's great to see you, Julius.
Miss Stewart?
And she'll drive through. What? What? Ellie looking so upset.
We'll get to Ellie's situation later. So, when you do make it down to the parking lot, there are a scattering of cars. It's not a packed house, but there are clearly some people present. And as you make your way in, do you give Bruno any guff or do you just keep it rote?
She'll say, "How you doing, Bruno? Good to see you,
Ma'am?
sir." And she'll walk in.
There's a moment after she passes and she's no longer in line of sight and she's
I got ma'amed.
mm. And as you are making your way through, sashaying on your wedge heels, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
You, of course.
Espadrilles.
Sure, okay. You eventually get the attention of Atherton, who walks up. Oh, my dear, don't you look wonderful this evening?
Oh, thank you so much. You look pretty nice yourself.
Oh, this old thing. How kind
How
of
are
you to
things
say.
tonight?
It is quiet, but not too quiet.
That's nice.
Is there anyone in particular that you happen to be looking for this evening?
I would love to speak with Tylene if she's here, but I just kind of came to I don't know, meet new people, see fresh faces.
Well, there are one or two people floating about that maybe you haven't met, but if you're looking for Tylene, she is somewhere in the main hall last I checked.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Of course. And he does see someone else that is getting his attention. He sort of gives you a little nod, and he steps away to go deal with that.
Yeah, Poppy will head on into the main hall.
There are a few people milling around. Some individuals you might recognize. There's, of course, the unnamed silhouettes that sort of populate, and it doesn't take long to find Tylene and I'm not sure if you met Nathaniel Innsbruck. I believe you.
No, she had I don't think notes goes to notes.
I've lost track of who you people have all met. There's too many NPCs.
I just wrote that Innsbruck has a predatory eye and leaves shortly after I show up to talk to Tylene.
I believe that's when there was a moment with Lachlan Montrose.
That is a moment with Montrose.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think I've actually formally met
Mm-hmm.
Innsbruck.
So you probably at least know who he is in terms of has been pointed out to you before. You did meet him very, very briefly in a walk past the scene sort of way.
Mm-hmm.
And you do see him with Tylene and one or two, we'll call them politely nobodies, and Ava Lash.
Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Poppy swallows a little hard, and then she goes, "Okay." Uh, and she'll kind of, if it doesn't seem like she's interrupting like a very important, dramatic, like conversation, she'll kind of slide on in, and go, "Tylene, it's so good to see you."
Oh, well, if it isn't Poppy, give us a spin. And she sort of reaches out to take your hand as if to sort of effectuate this.
Mm-hmm.
Love what you've done.
Thank you, thank you. I was going with a summery picnic vibe.
Well, you accomplished it.
Oh, thank you. I'm Poppy, by the way, and she'll extend her hand to Innsbruck.
Mm-hmm. He will, it's a very polite, very practiced shake, but in a way that is noticeably not trying to break your hand. It's, again, very, very practiced. But then again, that's a venture for you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Miss Stewart, pleasure to meet you finally.
Likewise.
I've heard a bit
Kate
about
has
you
had
from...
wonderful. Oh, sorry.
Oh, I've heard a bit about you from Tylene here, of course.
Oh, really?
And that's when she chimes in of, well, we were looking at getting you involved somewhere at SCAD when we found something that's more in your wheelhouse.
Absolutely. I would love to be involved at SCAD. And she'll extend her hand to Ava Lash. It's wonderful to meet you too, Miss Lash. I'm Poppy.
Yes, you are. And she sort of like holds your hand in such a way that's not really a handshake as much as forcing you into this, you're taking her hand more daintily.
Mm.
Like in a very, oh, charmed, I'm sure, kind of thing.
Yes.
And while it may not be the opera, she does have a opera glove situation going on. And a sort of like wide leg pantsuit, like sleeveless pantsuit.
Speaking of incredible outfits, you look incredible.
Oh, well, that's very kind of one of the rows to say.
I've heard from some of the new bloods that they took some lessons with you, Miss Lash, and that they got a lot out of it. You seem to be an incredible teacher.
I want you to roll perception empathy at a 7.
No. Oh no. 1, 2, 3.
It's
And
fine. Don't worry about it. I'm sure
3.
nothing terrible is happening here.
Okay, I'm rolling 5 dice.
Okay.
Did I just faux pas? That is 3 successes, 2 failures,
Mm-hmm.
no ones.
You notice a little bit of a very coy, very careful little smirk as Innsbruck sort of just slightly turns away.
Amazing.
Just sort of at the corner of your eye as most of your attention is on,
Just
it's like, Qu'est-ce que le fuck? Oh, and what did they say about me?
Well, it was more like how they acted. After the lessons with you, they kind of held themselves with a confidence I hadn't seen before. And mind you, I don't know these people incredibly well, but I don't know, Kate Fulton really has it.
I will say, because of what you rolled before, you do catch a little shared smirk between Tylene and Innsbruck as Lash says, well, I have been known to correct a posture or two.
It's very important, especially if you're wearing a nice outfit.
And she does step in, and fingertips are almost grazing your just the side of your arm, but not quite. More sort of that proprioception of where you're so incredibly aware of just the glove being a few millimeters away from your skin and not touching. It's almost more noticeable than being touched.
Yeah.
And are you looking to get your own session?
I mean, I would love to see what you could teach me.
Out of character, for both the players and everyone watching, a few sessions ago, probably very voluntarily wore her own collar that she stole from somewhere.
Yes.
I believe it was a dog collar.
It was.
And I find that just a very fun overlay that she is unaware of. Well, why don't you take down my number, and maybe I'll make some time for you.
Would love that. And she'll get her phone out.
She gives a number. She looks to Innsbruck and Tylene, gives them a little smirk, and then walks away. Until next time.
Ta-ta for now.
Innsbruck is not looking in your direction at the moment, as though he is sort of looking at whatever the prince is doing at the moment, where he is sort of holding a little bit of court, and he's just sort of paying attention to see if there's anything he needs to be paying attention to. Tylene looks at you. So, how are we getting?
Oh, we're getting along just fine. Though, this may be silly. I don't know. I was wondering, how do you find, like, the social events of the season to meet the artists that are making the art that you want to see? Like, are there any galas or art openings, museums? Anything I'm missing?
Apparently everything, but we can start to fix that.
I would love that.
We do have a smaller gallery showing tomorrow.
Oh, great.
Some of
Do you
the local artists are putting together something. Well, some of the patrons might be visiting, some of the artists will be there, but it's the usual cocktail and preen about sort of situation, but the right sort of people might be there.
That would be wonderful. I'd love an introduction.
I think all you would need is an invitation, which now you have. I'll send you
Oh,
details properly later.
Tylene, thank you. I appreciate that so much.
We can make one or two introductions, but I think you'll do very well on your own.
Oh, that means
You-
a lot coming from you.
Oh, well, look at you, darling. You're just so very vibrant and inviting.
Thank you. How are things going at SCAD?
Very good. Some of the summer semester's ending, so we're getting into the start of the proper semester.
What part of the year do you appreciate most? When the kids are here or when they're not?
Hmm. Well, like any good artist, no two seasons are exactly alike.
Fair.
I appreciate both in different ways.
That makes sense. I would imagine having all of that energy around could be quite inspiring.
Not to mention delicious.
Mm. Also that. Also that. Poppy kind of nods quite
Mm.
knowingly at her situationship.
I'm gonna have her roll something. Any minute now. Well, that's 4 successes, and I'm not bothering rolling that 10.
Mm-hmm.
She looks at you and goes, you seem like you have some sort of experience with that.
I've met a SCAD student or two. I've enjoyed a nice conversation.
And that's all you've enjoyed?
I
Come on.
I'm very new to this sort of thing, but there are certain students that I really enjoy spending time with. Some really talented artists.
Oh, are we patronizing one or two?
One at the moment. She's incredible. Her name's Heidi, and anyway, she gets like flustered and then feels weird for saying her name.
Mm. There was a playfulness that was leading into that, and then there's a little bit more something wistful after you say a name. She leans in and just, I'm happy for you, but don't say the name next time.
Yeah, no, I realized that was quite foolish. Please forget it. She does like dumb little hand motion, Jedi mind trick. You didn't hear anything.
And that's when Innsbruck turns back around. She just looks over at Tylene. Did she really just fucking do that?
Do
She
what?
she reaches over, just sort of like touches his arm. Just, we're just joking. To be young again. But he says it with a little bit of a smirk. And it looks like he's about to say something, and his phone goes off. And just turns around. Some of that conversation you would have heard earlier. A moment later, he leans in, touches the top of Tylene's shoulder. I have to go. And there's a very sort of like quick kiss of cheek and cheek, and he's out the door. And she watches him walk for a moment before her attention goes back to you.
There's always something going on. I just hope it's not one of the Mudmen thing again. The Mudmed things.
I imagine it's something more mundane.
That's good?
Mundane can mean a lot of things.
Yeah. Still getting used to the new definition for mundane for us.
In any case, let's walk you around the room a little bit, get you better acquainted with a few people.
Oh, sure. And thank you.
She offers you an arm,
She'll take it.
and of course she goes through a few of the unnamed silhouettes that in the anime of this show, they don't matter. Now, is there any particular NPC that, other than Ava, that you want to be introduced to while we have you?
I mean, if Matilda's around, I don't know if that's too far up in the echelons. That would be very
You can
cool.
mention it to Tylene.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, Matilda, what is she? Miss Swafford. What is she like? I've only seen her from afar, but the more that I've chatted with my friend Cora, the more I'm curious about what it is to be a Malkavian.
You may want to start smaller rather than going after a primogen.
Oh, yeah, obviously.
Shrewd. She does travel around in the more socialite circles than most, which some would consider impressive for a Malkavian. It's not as well known among them.
Poppy thanks to Belle and kind of her introvertedness.
And you are vaguely aware of Lewis being of the same ilk. You don't know what his deal is, but you know that there are certain aversions that come up.
Right.
You are aware, of course, that Cora experiences things.
And
you've gleaned at least there's a severity and a spectrum of things.
Yeah.
So,
in fact, Cora and a dream that I had is kind of inspiring me to do a textile piece, which I haven't done in a long time. I have a couple of ideas I've been sketching out. We'll see. I feel like it will look really beautiful at night.
A little advice. Don't wait.
To make the art piece?
Sure. Whatever it is you have percolating back there, whether it be art or something else, don't live with the false promise that all of your future evenings are promises.
Right. She has like a flashback to the first night with Max. Risks are required, even small ones.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Don't be trapped by all the could have beens.
Right. Right. It's funny. This is the freest I've ever been. In a lot of ways. Even with all of the scaffolding around being us. So I might as well.
We, of course, have to abide by certain expectations, decorums, all the like.
Oh, of course, of course.
But you are as free as you want to be. To a point. And she almost says something, but she does hold back.
Hmm. I don't know if Poppy knows what to say either, or if Helena doesn't know what to say.
It's okay. She looks around a little bit and we can try meeting Matilda, but I promise nothing.
Oh, of course. But if it's not what you want to do, we don't have to do that.
She might be at the art showing tomorrow.
Oh, well, that would be great.
We'll see what we can do.
Thank you, Tylene. You're looking out for me in huge ways.
Hmm.
I hope I can prove myself worthy of that attention.
Out of character,
Hmm.
how much of this is sincere versus how much of it is the con?
She started with the con, with like laying it on thick, buttering her up, but trying to butter Innsbruck up by saying that Kate did a good job. Don't worry, Ellie. I was buttering buttering him up with Kate. You were not. If it was talking to your okay. Um, but it kind of faded into sincerity, especially after her giving such I don't know, attentive advice.
Mm-hmm. And you've had one or two similar interactions with her prior.
Yeah, she's like really great. But of course she is. She's in charge of fostering artists. Like that's literally her gig.
So, is there anything else you'd like to bring up with her or at Wormslow itself?
No, I don't think so. I think Poppy's proud that she got herself there and got an invite to something.
And on the radar of a couple of people.
Yes.
Now, whatever Innsbruck thought of your interaction, who knows?
Who knows? But I told him Kate did a good job, so.
Mm-hmm. And whatever Ava's takeaway is, we'll find out another night.
Yay.
Is it okay if we fade out from there?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, this was a great stream, everyone. Have a great night. I hope you all enjoyed yourselves.
Take your seat, Sam.
Okay.
Last, but certainly not least, our Gangrel and Nosferatu out in the woods, where I'm sure nothing terrible has been happening this entire time. Except, of course, for the fact that when we last left off with our duo, Artem was kiting a rather sizable gator, getting and holding its attention, while Ellie tried to stab it with a syringe to fill it with a tracking device of some caliber. Ellie, you are hanging on for dear life as you wildly flail about this not insubstantial alligator while it madly thrashes about on its violent trajectory towards Artem. At first, you merely had yet to let go due to the simple reflex of clenching your hand tighter as things went awry. But now, you cling to the injector that anchors you to it because you realize you have yet to sink the plunger home. If you let go now, you will no longer be caught up in the scaly hurricane, but you will not have achieved the intended goal, and all of this risk will have been for nothing. What do you do? Artem, I'm assuming you are still trying to kite this.
Artem is getting ready to help.
Mm-hmm. But for the time being, you're kiting and keeping your other options very much at the ready.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll check on you in a moment.
I suppose this might be one of those shit or get off the pot moments. So, in that case, I think Ellie is going to try to maneuver themselves so they're no longer being dragged by it, but so they're on top of the gator so that they have the right angle to plunge the injector in and then jump off.
Okay. Well.
Anyway, I think that I feel like a technology intelligence is probably the best way.
Oh, you feel
or
that way,
maybe
huh?
like science. Physics is really involved in this.
Yes,
Calculating
but
it.
no longer at the theoretical phase. This is practical application.
Okay.
Sam, you had increased your stats with blood, yes?
Correct.
Okay. Still
That
got
would
that.
still be in effect.
Yeah.
So, what would be rather fun for this? Because you would up
Fun
your
is
strength,
fun.
correct?
So when I spend a blood, does that up all of the physical ones or just one of them? Okay.
Just the one that you have decided on.
I had upped my strength, yes. I am willing to spend another blood to up my dex.
Okay.
Which is much better, if that's possible.
I'd say both are applicable, but you would be rolling either dex or strength with athletics.
Which I don't have. So, I mean, the only one I'm going to have a chance with is dex.
Okay. If you want to spend willpower, now would be the time.
Yeah, I'm going to spend a blood and I'm going to spend a willpower.
Just be marking it down, and this is going to be... Do you have athletics?
Nope.
Okay. This is going to be at an 8.
Okay.
It otherwise would be at a 7, but you are on a thrashing scaly bronco.
2 successes total.
That's what you needed. You being thrown violently back and forth by this creature that, had you been in the water, you already would be in its death spiral. But on land, it can't quite effectuate that. It can move quite fast. Artem, you are seeing Ellie being thrown about, but not thrown from. As if They may have been jostled off of the mechanical bull, but they are not giving up. Ellie, you managed to twist and contort and claw with your irregularly shaped hands, which give you a unique advantage to sort of nestle between plates of organic armor. And you claw yourself atop in this awkward saddling. And I'm assuming once you are situated as you are, you have the proper leverage to sink this home. And you do.
Yep. And the moment I do, I'm gonna shout to Artem, "It's in!" And then I'm gonna take the thing out. Y'all.
Go on.
I'm gonna pull it back out.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna jump off.
Okay. I'm gonna have you roll athletics and dex again to both safely disentangle and not hurt yourself in the process when you land, because there's a lot of unpleasantness in the detritus.
Okay, I've used so much willpower already. What am I trying to beat?
7.
Okay.
Actually, this would be at a 6, because this should be a little bit lower, because this is dismounting rather than getting on the active creature. It's a lot easier to fall off. It's just the added difficulty of falling off without getting yourself mangled.
Great. All right. Get ready to regret not using willpower for this. Okay. It's 1 success.
Okay.
I had a 10, but it was canceled out by a 1.
Okay. You're able to wrench the device free, because I'm assuming you want to save it for later application.
Mm-hmm.
And you dive off, trying to roll as appropriate. You do feel your legs and arms being scraped up by various debris, but nothing too serious. There are a lot of very minor scuffs and lacerations, but you are at least not self-staked on any of the driftwood along this area.
I love
Graham
finding
was ready
out
for
the
that
risks
botch.
afterwards.
Mm-hmm. I imagine there's a moment where you come to a rolling stop and you realize that you are a scant few inches away from this sharpened, broken bough of wood that could have gone somewhere very complicated.
Also, I just want to say,
Mhm.
the botch would have been I somehow land on Artem's steak that he brought. That would have been the botch.
That would have been a botch for Artem.
Yeah, I'm not gonna put him in harm's way for something you did to yourself. But luckily you didn't. Nothing terrible happened. Except for the fact that Artem now has an enraged and now more enraged gator. Because before it had something going through that scaly hide, and now it felt something shift and manipulate muscle to accommodate. And all it can see, smell, taste in the air is the gangrel in front of it. Statistically pretty or not, you are its target now. And blue stealing at it will accomplish nothing. As I believe by your own... what's the word I'm looking for? It's gone. Where Rules of engagement, that's what I was looking for, where you are not to use certain powers because you presume you would not be able to use them on the Mudmen. If your experiment is to go off as intended, you cannot use it here. But that is a choice you make. Do you feel like you are that much in danger?
Well, that was really more of a rule for Ellie. But I think Artem would have been, especially after his recent ass kicking by Alden, looking at the terrain. Is there somewhere he can lead this gator that is going to make it perhaps lose its footing? What he's looking for right now is essentially a place to strike.
You're trying to attack it?
I think he is going to try to attack it, yes.
And by attack, what do you mean by that?
He's going to try to bite it and drink its blood so that it goes night-night.
Okay. What I will say is, if the metric is things that you would be trying against a Mudman, hold, would you ever try and drink a Mudman?
Oh, no.
I'm not saying not to do it. I'm just trying to maintain the initial logic.
The initial logic was basically, Ellie, I want you to prove you can do something. You can do this. In Artem's mind, he's ripped an arm off of one of the things. He doesn't necessarily need to prove himself in the same way. He can take this creature as it is. And ideally, we don't want to kill it because that would sort of defeat the purpose of the experiment.
Okay. So you want to lunge in with fangs.
That's the idea.
Okay. We're going to do athletics and dex because this is about trying to outmaneuver, not outstrength.
Yeah.
You're going to have a hard time in a combat situation getting your fangs into the gator. Whereas before it was more of a gentle lure. This is active engagement. I wish you luck.
Me too. I
This
am
is going to be an opposed. Okay, this is going to be an opposed roll.
I'm also going to use a blood on my dexterity.
Okay, just as long as you are marking these things down.
Yep.
Yes, Sam.
I'm wondering if there is a way that Ellie's shout could have thrown off the gator a little bit by causing it to realize there was another thing around and an unexpected noise. So in a way to assist Artem in this role. It's okay if not. I just wanted to offer like a way to assist.
Let's see. What would I even... I'll take that in consideration with his difficulty. So, what are you going to be rolling here? It's Dex and
Dex and athletics is what you said, yes?
Okay.
Unless you'd prefer brawl because it is the teeth.
We'll have you roll that after. This is
Okay,
more
that
about
makes sense.
the like half-ton of reptilian meat that is trying to kill you, and you are trying more to find the purchase first.
Sure.
You were trying to evade a lot of the problem. We'll have you do a secondary roll after. So this will be
Okay.
at an 8 as well.
Oh, okay. That's less good then. But still not bad. With the willpower, I did get 4.
Okay. Unfortunately, it got 5.
Damn.
So you miss the teeth of this roving, living fossil, but you are now tangled up in it as it is trying to do a death spiral on land. So I'm going to let Ellie attempt something if you wish at this point.
I mean, I feel at this point, seeing Artem get to this point, I think Ellie is gonna okay. Ellie is going to try to use logic being got the tracker in. I just need to know if the tracker works, and so I just need this gator to get off and go away. We can figure out how that works later on at another point with the Mudmen, and we're learning what we're learning. So Ellie is going to use animalism to tell the gator to stay still.
Cool. So the difficulty with animalism is that you would have to, I believe, get some eye contact, correct?
Yes. Now, here is a thought that I am having.
Okay.
I am banking on the idea that, based on what I've learned and about the fact that there were no animals around when Artem and company were attacked, that gators might be a little scared of the Mudmen.
Interesting.
Logic being, I could also use my obfuscate to mimic an approximation of what a Mudman's face might look like based on the descriptions I've heard, to get the gator maybe a little scared and wanting to stay still out of fear, and also just throwing it off its environment.
I would say, in order to really attempt that, you'd also have to know how it smells to really fool all the senses.
Right.
It's an interesting approach. Yeah. And because you have never seen one, you've only heard it described, there would be a difficulty in even assuming the form.
Oh yeah, it would definitely be like Ellie is basing it off of, like, is almost doing sketch artist version of
it's sort of the equivalent of how I've heard people describe the taste of LaCroix, where it's you have heard someone once describe an orange through a telephone.
Yeah.
So I will let you attempt the obfuscate if that's what you want to do. Let's find out exactly where that is. So I want to get this right.
And even if I fail at the obfuscate, I do want to still make eye contact and try to tell it to stop.
Yeah. I'm gonna have you pick one or the other.
Oh, okay.
So which one would you like to try and do?
Animalism. I want
Animalism.
Yeah.
Okay.
At the very least, I know how to speak to an animal.
Okay.
As opposed to doing a bunch of guesses on what a mudman looks like on the fly.
So there's going to be a difficulty of 8 for the animalism. Because 2 reasons. One, reptile brain, and it's a predator, and it's in the middle of trying to kill something.
Yeah.
So you're going to have to try very hard just to get its line of sight.
Yep.
So I'm going to take the eye contact into consideration with just you rolling manipulation animal can. I'll let you, depending how the dice go, that'll decide whether you even got eye contact and go from there. So
8.
So that'd be manipulation animal can.
Yep. 2 successes.
2 successes. And what is it that you're trying to tell it to do?
Stand still.
Okay. You have to get into that organic tumbleweed of limbs and teeth and to some extent claw in order to maintain eye contact. And it's this sort of rotation and churn of pieces and parts that it's like a scaly rendition of a biblically accurate angel for a moment. But you manage to find the predatory eyes, and they are not Artem's. And when you tell it to stop, it's not so much that it just frees all motor function. While it does stop, it is still fully cognizant, and it is still pinned, or rather pinning Artem to the ground, the underbrush. You feel sort of uncomfortable forest detritus pressing into your back uncomfortably. It is snarling as best it can at both of you. And it can't decide which one it wants to eat. Because one had its attention, now one is giving it directives, and it is analysis paralysis. But reptile brain tends to find a very quick route through that flow chart. Artem, it is now your turn.
Drink time.
Okay. We'll go with the Dex and Brawl.
Dex and Brawl. Lovely. What are we rolling at?
Ooh.
This is a good roll.
This is going to be a 7. Because I'm assuming you're not going through the top. You're going through the sort of like more the underbelly side of it.
Yeah.
So it's a little more feasible.
Oh, fuck. All right. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
4.
4 successes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm going to have you roll strength +1.
This is also at a 7?
This is just a 6.
6. Okay. 3.
3. I'm going to be taking into consideration the amount of successes you got on the bite itself. And for a moment, this snort, hiss, growl that has been emanating is deafening simply because of your proximity. You can feel the sound almost before you hear it because you are just crushed up against it. Ellie, you heard the description of the mudman screaming. This is not the same, but maybe not entirely dissimilar. But it's rendered moot as all that sound goes out. And it wheezes and lurches and becomes a dead weight very quickly. And now both of you, well, rather, Artem, you're underneath it. Does Ellie help you push the gator away or try to pull you out? Or is it just, well, that's not my problem, and run away to the van?
Oh, I didn't think about that third option.
It would become your problem very quickly.
We're gonna basically follow Artem's lead. If Artem's trying to push the gator off, Ellie will try to help with that. And then if Artem's trying to like squeeze out, Ellie will try to help pull. Like Ellie kind of wants to assist in whichever is the best way.
We'll say he's in a position that it's going to require a bit of strength, so he's kind of like fucking big piece of shit.
So Ellie's going to try to assist with pushing it off.
Okay. I'd say the rules are irrelevant now. It's a combination of both shifting the creature and then trying to shimmy and get pulled out. So eventually you are plucked free from the scaled weight of this creature that is dozing in place.
Okay.
To the computer.
Okay.
Ellie starts. Ellie has adrenaline pumping to his point, and is rushing off to the direction they think the car is, which I'm going to assume is the correct direction.
Do you want to roll for it?
Man, sure. This is going to be a cool moment.
I'll roll too.
Exactly. You're going to go with intelligence and survival, both of you, at a 5.
Oh, that's actually
Just because I think this is fun.
intelligence and survival.
Mm-hmm.
said out of 5?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 1 success.
1 success. You're going vaguely in the right direction, but Artem catches up to you and is able to direct you more directly to it. You'd eventually end up there, but you would be reaching more the road and have to backtrack. You were at least generally going the right place. You weren't going to end up thicker in the brush or anything, but just in your exuberance and exhilaration of getting this done, maybe the danger of it, the thrill of having like some tech to test and you pulled something off. You were just running a little askew, but you're on track and you're able to get in the van.
Ellie's going to start up the computer and going to get the program that they put together to connect to the tracker, and is going to basically make sure that the tracker is still functioning and that we get a ping from the actual gator.
Wouldn't it be terrible if after all of this,
I would end the stream right now.
well, let's have
Your
you roll.
tech issues become my tech issues.
you get the tracker looks like it's at a dumpster in the racetrack.
Let's have you roll intelligence and technology.
Oh god.
And it will be at just a 4, because you have been actively tinkering with this ever since you got it.
I only have 3 willpower left, so I'm not going to use the willpower. If this fails, I'm going to be so angry. 4.
While he's doing that, Graham, he said 4. Can I kind of look around? Can I awareness look around, see if anything has joined us tonight?
Do you have awareness?
I do.
You do have awareness. So you are looking specifically through the veil to see if there is something unnatural here. Okay. I'll come back to you in just a moment to handle that. How did you roll?
7.
Nice.
7 successes?
Yes.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Okay. We'll adjudicate that in just a second. Artem, I want you to roll perception awareness. Let's go with an 8.
I'm not going to use willpower.
Okay.
One.
The only non-mundane thing that you can get a sense of in the area is yourself and Ellie. But for all intents and purposes, the marsh was just the marsh. And the only strange thing out there was not the gator, but a gangrel and a Nosferatu. Ellie, you have been working on this even before you acquired the tech, pulling from various open source avenues to collate your code to bounce off of certain open systems. But to make it all work is a pastiche of code that you had to manually create and make sure it runs. And there's no way to upload a patch if you messed up. This is like when NASA launched Hubble. You can't easily or readily go and fix it once it's out of the lab and up in the bloody sky. Or in this case, a gator that may be docile now, but if sufficiently agitated in a moment, might be able to go through that van. But as you look on your screen to the applet that you created, you get a very clear and distinct ping. As far as you can tell, everything that you've worked on, everything that you did tonight, mission accomplished.
Okay, so now we're going to track this. So I'll be able to see a pattern on how it's been moving, and then we'll also see how long this can actually run, and see if this will get through it. And then we'll be able to see how much I can track, and honestly, probably could submit this to some sort of conservation website who's tracking gators. That could be some extra money if they wanted to do that.
How long would you estimate it should work?
Based on the limited time I had to get an extra power source, I would say a few days.
A few days. Okay.
Less than a week.
Okay. So in 2 days, let's go find it again. Put eyes on it. Make sure
The tracker matches where it is. Yeah, I hope it doesn't poop it out. This also can pierce alligator scales. So we're hoping our friends are not tougher than that. Although I do kind of want to maybe do like something like with a trigger on it.
I don't think they were. What would you do with the trigger?
Well, something that I don't have to puncture it, but something where, like a staple gun, where you just put it next to the thing and then it punctures it into it. Speedier injector doesn't require a rodeo.
Sure.
And
now, honestly, we can try on something a little less dangerous next time.
Well, now the thing is, how do we calm it down?
How do we calm the gator down?
Well, I can't imagine. We haven't tried our.
Oh, you're talking about the mud man.
Yeah.
I was about to say, he's out.
May not be replicable.
That's sort of why I wanted to do it like this. I think this is a more realistic scenario for this, if this is what we're going to try. We may not be able to calm it down.
We could calm it down. And do we know of anyone? I mean, I suppose this is a little bit of gets us into existentialism on how much more or less like an animal these things are. But do we know of anyone who can kind of I guess this could be a question for our storyteller, is if Ellie is aware of that kindred can manipulate emotions to either like calm them down or otherwise.
You've heard of it, and it is difficult, depending on what you're talking about. You know that Ventru and Toreador especially are good at both mental and emotional manipulation. Some gangrel especially are able to dial up and down the emotions of certain creatures in certain ways. Malkavians, however, are much more known for drastic, bombastic, emotional yo-yoing.
So Ellie's like going through this in their head and going, Have you ever... How do I say this? Has Cora ever needed to do like mediation of any kind?
You would have to ask her.
That's right. Okay.
When I was introduced to powers like you're describing, my understanding is that they're more difficult to use in these kinds of situations. Not impossible. I don't know what Cora could or couldn't do.
Wouldn't hurt to try and test it out. Of course, then we would need to test that in a situation where it's
Sorts
not
of
an animal we're dealing with. Although, I know some people with some secrets that may be good volunteers. I'll get back to you. Thanks for the field test, Artem. This ended up being very productive. Also, I would like a 24-hour notice if I'm going to be going up against a gator again next time. Because oh my god, they're so big.
Notice for a mudman.
They are so big. They are giant. They're huge.
Yeah.
I was actually riding that thing for a second there.
You should have just bit from there.
Yeah, is that something you do often?
Yeah.
I imagine you two are starting to have this conversation as you're driving back to Wernslow.
100%.
Mm. Is there anything else you'd like to add or ask? Well, if there's nothing else for tonight, I think now is a good time for us to fade out. We will, of course, be missing next week due to the holiday, but we'll be back the following week with 2 sessions in 1 week, both of Savannah by Night and A Familiar Problem.
Potentially 2 wildly different tones.
You're starting yours with Killing Santa. I think yours might be the darker game.
Valid.
But until then, thanks for joining us, folks. See you next time.